Hi, this is CJ with CompRCC.com, and in this series of videos, I'm going to be assembling the 3Racing Sakura Ultimate Touring Car. In this video, I'm going to be putting together the steering assembly. So let me spin this around. It's got the front of the car facing forward. Still working with bag number 4 here. Very nice. Everything looks well machined. Of course, it is bright pink, being a 3Racing car, but you know, when you get this kind of quality of manufacture at the price this is being offered, I actually saw one of these for $270. That did not include shipping, so that probably puts it in the ballpark, maybe even a little less than the $300 I paid for mine. Anything in that price range, you can't help but be pleased with this. Let's start by pressing some bearings into place. And you know what? I'm going to put all these bearings in this little pan here that do the same thing that I've done with every bearing that has come in this kit. I take some light oil, I run a little bit of light oil around the bead, and I let it soak through the bearing to make sure that these bearings are well lubricated. It just takes a few extra minutes to let that happen. I'll go ahead and pause the video camera and restart. But I think this is a very worthwhile step. The bearings have soaked for a while. Oil appears to have run through from side to side. So I'm just going to wipe the excess off. Looks like a pretty well designed steering assembly. There's a couple of convenient spacers there. The way it's designed, it should be fairly easy to adjust the Ackerman. Just take out a little screw-in ball studs and increase or decrease the amount of spacer. I'm going to put those in right now. Is this 2 millimeter? Yep. Really should put a little Loctite on there. These are pretty long ball studs, so there's a lot of space there to make adjustment. If you want to make a change, there's more than enough space to do that. Slide that little bearing in there. And another one there. That spacer, and then our nice ball stud. That didn't feel like it wanted to go in finger loose very easily, so I'm just going to make sure that that is threaded. There's a little binding there. Okay. So now that I've threaded through that little bit of resistance there, go ahead and assemble that. Put a little bit of Loctite on. This is not a screw that I expect is going to be removed necessarily during the life of the kit, because this is the ball stud that attaches to the steering servo, so there's no adjustment to be made there. No reason to take that off again. Now onto the arms. Press the bearings in. They go right in very easily. Everything has been going together very nicely. The little bushing here, the mount that will screw down to the frame. The arm goes over that and passes through, and there's a little metal spacer that goes around the aluminum bushing, the silver one that comes up from the bottom. And you don't want that to get pinched between this little carbon fiber bar that goes in between the two, like a little stabilizer, stiffens things up a bit. Those will get tightened down a little more when these are anchored into the chassis. That is another item that really deserves some Loctite. This time, instead of applying it to the screw, I'll apply it directly to the threads of the turnbuckle. Thread that in. Make sure that's nice and snug and has good action. A little bit of Loctite on these threads. It's another item you definitely can't afford to have come loose on you. There is our steering assembly. That is going to go over the belt. So, as you can see, if you need to change out this front belt, you got to take off your suspension mount. You got to take off this whole assembly here. It's only 2 screws from below, but you got to take that off. And then, of course, you have to remove that. It's a little bit of work to get that front belt off, but hopefully not a replacement that needs to be done even once a season necessarily. Well, this is a little bit of a quandary here, because there's no way to put a wrench on that bottom piece, and you certainly wouldn't want to grab that from above, because of that's the surface that the bearings slide on. So what you really need at this point is a pair of 2mm wrenches, one on either side. Hold that screw from one side, come at the other one from below, and tighten that up. And we have our steering. as you can see, very smooth ball bearing action there. And it's very solid. It's not going to have any play in it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video.